Alright guys, I was almost late for this, but we're having a match between Shadow, aka Fenrir here, so his name is Shadow on ETC, and shadowball2007. I'll give him okay to play. Maybe he's just thinking. Anyway, we'll just wait it out. Alright, so it is Gishki. Apparently, this is an OCG deck. Did I introduce Shadow Ball 2007? I don't remember, but yeah, it's Shadow, aka Fenrir, versus Shadow Ball 2007, aka Shadow Ball 2007. Alrighty. Finishes his turn with the Stratos-esque play. Now, Gishki is a deck that I'm sort of acquainted with. I started playing it back in the summer, when it wasn't actually out in TCG at all, just in OCG, I think. But they had it on Dueling Network, as always. So you could say that my experience with Gishki is from the last format, and it's pretty outdated. So that's understandable. Okay. So either Shadow just ripped that, or he didn't feel like setting it. Anyway, it looks like we're seeing another plant synchro deck, synchro summon deck. That is probably a Gishki aerial. Gishki have a ton of really nice monsters. One is their Stratos-esque monster, as you saw earlier, which was Gishki Abyss, and another one is Gishki Aerial, which is a flip monster with a lot of defense, about 1800 if I remember correctly. This was quite a bit ago. And it gets to basically Rota. Yes, right there, 1800 defense. Really solid card. He gets to search something from his deck, any Gishki monster. So the thing about Abyss is that monster that Abyss searches has to have less than or equal to 1000 defense. So, and it can't search itself. And this is the card, Levianima, that I think is going to push Gishki over the top. It didn't exist back in the summer on Dueling Network. It's a level 8 that's very, very useful. Every time it attacks, you get to draw a card. You have to reveal it, but based on what it is, you get like special effects. But that's really cool that it can gain a card every time it attacks. Alright, so we're going to see Gishki Beast, another monster I wanted to talk about. It looks like Fenrir is just getting everything. What is it like? It's like the Debris Dragon of Gishki. It can special summon one level 4 or lower Gishki monster from the graveyard in face-up defense position. Very, very effective with Gishki Abyss, because you get to reuse Gishki Abyss's effect. So now you're seeing Fenrir already at 7 cards in his hand, only 29 cards in his deck compared to Shadow Ball. So we know that Gishki has a ton of advantage making stuff. Alright, so he discards his Gishki Shadow, which is one way to play Gishki, and is with the rituals. I mean, that they pretty much streamlined the entire Gishki ritual deck, and it's pretty solid. Goose Crake is it's ridiculous. You get to randomly choose a card from your opponent's hand, and it goes back to your deck, and you have to shuffle it. With Salvage and the effect of their ritual spell card, and the effect of Gishki Shadow and Vision Gishki, oh my goodness, that's nuts. So yeah, it's like a mini Trap Dust Street. You get to choose two cards from your opponent's hand randomly, and pick one of them, and it sends back to the deck, and they get to keep the other one, of course. But the fact that you get that information, Caius and Foolish Burial just solidifying the fact that we're seeing another plant synchro deck. Alright, so Kai's back to the deck. Pretty good choice because he does have a lot of monsters on the field, and he does have, well, scapegoats can't be used for tribute summon, but he's probably going to lose some tokens. He might not lose, well, he might not lose all his Tengus, really. But yeah, what was I saying? I was saying that Gishki Ritual, the ritual Gishki deck is pretty solid, and it's pretty streamlined. Like, they kind of made all the cards work with each other, and so I'm not too fond of that, but I mean, it is really, really solid. Steel Swarm Roach coming out, probably totally capable of stopping the potential plant synchro. I think he's going to attack over 2 Tengus, and Shadow Ball will be left with 1 left. And I apologize for only talking about Gishki instead of plants, but it is a newer deck type, and plants are, you know, they're pretty ubiquitous. So when I was running Gishki Ritual, it was not as effective because I didn't have that level 8 Levianimon, whatever. But it did have 3 Goose Crake, Gust Kraken. I don't even know, man. This card. We need Trap Dust Shoot, and pretty effective. I've whittled down hands by like 4 cards because of multiple salvages. So salvage is one of the best cards in the deck. What else? I didn't explain what this ritual does. Its secondary effect, in addition to being a normal ritual card. If it's in your graveyard, you can return it to the deck to add 1 Gishki Ritual monster in your graveyard to your hand. So you combine the fact that it goes back into the deck, and you get like this ritual monster back to the hand, and then you salvage for 2 copies of Gishki Shadow. Gishki Shadow can discard to the graveyard to search any Gishki Ritual spell card from your deck to your hand. And so since salvage is a +1, the ritual itself is a -1. Well, actually it breaks even. Actually, no, it is a -1. So you need 3 cards to use the ritual. You need the ritual itself, you need 1 of these guys, and you need either level 6 or not, or one of Gishki Shadow or Vision Gishki, both of which can be discarded or attributed for the effect of the ritual spell instead of going for the total levels. Like, it can be used by itself, which is pretty sick. Now, remember that Vision Gishki is the monster side of Gishki Shadow, in that it can discard to the graveyard to add any Gishki Ritual monster, whereas Shadow gets the ritual spell card. So yes, he's going to get the other ritual spell card, probably another Ceremonial Mirror. So Ceremonial Mirror, like, it's an amazing card. You may need it and the ritual monster and some sort of tribute for it, but it makes up for it by giving you a free card after you use it when it's in the graveyard. So there were other builds that use trade-in with multiple level 8 Gishki monsters, Gishki Ritual monsters, because they're all searchable by Vision Gishki, and they can be added back to your hand by a Ceremonial Mirror in the graveyard. So that's like a really sick combo, lets you dig deeper into your deck. Trade-in is pretty solid. The fact that Levianima exists now, it's a level 8, and it's solid compared to Soul Ogre, which is not as good. I mean, it's still somewhat useful, but it's not as good. Fenrir are pretty much in control of this match. Shadow Ball with 5 bodies on the field, they're not going to help him very much because he has no tuners on the field. If Tengu does die, we're probably going to see most of the goats die as well. He only has 3 cards in hand, but it is totally possible for plants to make a combo out of 3 cards. Shadow Ball says, "Just end me, lol." And I gotta agree, Fenrir is taking a while. Fenrir getting that card that I was talking about, the Levianima, I think he has 2 in hand right now. So he can use the ritual spell card, send one of the Levy animals to the graveyard to special summon the other. Decides not to and goes straight for Evagishi Levy Anima by attributing Goose Crake, and Abyss. But he adds Goose Crake back to his hand and sends Gishki Ceremonial Mirror back to the deck. Shuff, 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 shuff. If he has another Gishki Mirror, he does. I do believe he will be able to special summon Abyss from the graveyard, and he will be able to grab another copy of Gishki Shadow from the deck. Discard that copy for another Gishki Ceremonial Mirror, and he will have a field full of nastiness on his side of the field. Definitely capable of drawing 2 cards off of 2 Levy Animals attacks. So I'm going to check the ETC chat in the meantime as he sets up this combo, and you will be able to get a +2. That's pretty sick. He gets to draw a Monster Reborn. How broken. I'm sad that he didn't get a second Levy Anima onto the field. Alrighty, Lone Fire Blossom. This could be the beginning of a comeback, but and Shadowball's life points are definitely high enough to survive a couple more turns. This has been a pretty slow duel, however. Shoutouts to those of you who are watching Prismatic and Sideswipe. I think Prismatic is getting in on the next game that I'm recording, so that'll be cool. Which will probably be Twitter versus Chris. He is capable of dropping that formula. Synchron. Probably made out of a Scapegoat token and Bolt, as far as I can tell. Not sure how he got that Steel Sworn Roach. It might have been Kujasoft, but no, it's not. It's probably enemy controller or mind control. Probably did that because he doesn't want his stuff to get stuffed. I'm leaning towards mind control because I don't know how many tokens he still had last. And by the way, I am definitely rooting for the Rangers, but to be honest, I do not follow big on. I'm not a big follower of baseball. I'm from Texas though, so go Rangers. So yeah, Shadowball definitely fighting back. He just used some of the big power cards that Plant has. And one of the crazy things about Gishki is that they are water type. So they do pretty much all the monsters in Gishki lose to Catastor. This is when cards like Soul Ogre can come in handy because they can deal with Catastor. But if you don't have another monster, then I mean the largeness, I guess you could say, of Catastor. I mean not Catastor, of Goosequake and Levianima, even though they're bigger, I mean they really don't do anything to Catastor. So that really sucks for Shadow right now. Fenrir, we'll see how he deals with this. So yeah, we're still on Duel 1, which kind of stinks for anybody who's trying to get in the game after this. I think I said it was Twitter versus Chris. We're still on game 1. I guess both players are slightly slow, but it doesn't really matter. Slow play is as good as any play. Dude, why don't you guys just like start recording your own matches, you know? Or is that too much effort? Still, we have Fenrir sitting on 5 cards and Mirror in the graveyard, Mirror in the graveyard. Definitely capable of dropping whatever he really wants. Hasn't done a lot of life point damage, and I mean, they're pretty much even on LPs, not that how many life points you have relative to the other person matters, just relative to 0 would matter. Twitter and Chris talking about what Twitter and Chris talk about in the ETC chat. Just like to comment on that. Totally agree with, I don't know how to pronounce that. Finally someone with common sense. I agree. You know what? I feel like listening to some music because it's taking a while. Not to knock on anybody playing right now. Problem with me trying to do this thing with voice is that you won't be. I'm not going to be able to speed it up, or else risk sounding like a very silly person at 2 times speed. And I know that everyone watches these for my commentary, so yeah. TG Hyper Librarian, a card also at 1. 2400 attack for a level 5 synchro is pretty typical, as exemplified by one of the first level 5 synchros, which was Magical Android, also 24. But I think it's a psychic type. TG Hyper Librarian's effect is very, very, very effective. You get to draw a card every time you synchro, and I think, looking back on it, Shadow Ball actually misplayed. He should have summoned TG Hyper Librarian before special summoning Catastor. He does drop a Max C though, in response to Monster Reborn. It's gonna be pretty tough for Fenrir to do anything and not let his opponent draw a gazillion cards, because Gishki does revolve around special summoning quite a bit. And I'm receiving word that the Rangers are now winning. They were tied at 7-7 before, and they went to an extra inning, apparently. That is pretty sick. Drew another Reborn Tengu after the Pot of Avarice. This better be a monster. It is. It's Tour Guide. Alright, so we're seeing Plants make a comeback. Fenrir admits defeat. Are they running a rematch with Siding? I know Fenrir has not sided or decided not to run aside, so he'll be done siding real quick. I'm considering pausing it. I'm just going to decide not to pause it because it's not going to change anything about the length of this video. No idea what that is. Alrighty, next match is starting. We just saw fenrir start out very strong in terms of advantage, but then lose it all to plants, making a pretty nice comeback from shadowball2007. That's what happens when you get cards like Reborn Tengu and gosh dang it, Reborn Tengu and Pot of Avarice combined, the ability to synchro with ease. We're back in the game. Fenrir loses his torrential early to MST. We're just dropping power cards all over the place, so torrential is lost and mind control is used up. Fenrir asks, "You serious?" Probably a Gishki aerial. If he flips that up so he doesn't get the effect, we'll see what happens. Yep, Gishki aerial, no effect. Alright, so Fenrir already looking to have a not very good start. We are definitely going to foolish a glow up bulb. Look at a Stardust. Krogs. Shoutouts to YouTube not having length limits anymore. Somebody just asked me, am I going to be able to upload this to YouTube? It's incredibly long. But yeah. We're looking at a Stardust or Scrap Dragon. I would definitely like to see Stardust or Thought Ruler, because there's nothing to pop Scrap, whatever. There's nothing to pop with Scrap Dragon and whatever. All right, so yeah, I'm liking the Stardust over the Scrap Dragon right now. But whatever, Shadow Ball deciding to go with Scrap Dragon. Maybe he's like, yep, yeah, that's why. Because you went Stardust, you pretty much were safe against everything except for mind control. Now we're looking at a level 4 Exceed, or just, yeah, probably a level 4 Exceed. Might lose outright to Solemn Warning, but there's no response from Shadow Ball yet, sorry, not left. Alright, so level 4 Exceed, going to Roach. Doesn't want to see another Scrap Dragon, Catastor, etc. on the field. Goes and attacks. I don't know if I agree. Runs in the Scapegoat, so that wasn't too bad. Alright, so 3 tokens left after this attack. Just made a remark in the ETC chat room. It's that the longer your duel is, basically, the lower quality I will upload it in, so that it can upload faster, pretty much. Basically, they're gonna be asking, or they asked, a 15-minute video would be pretty long to upload to YouTube, and I was like, yeah, there's no length limit in there. They're just like, well, I mean, it might take a long time to upload. Well, first of all, where I am right now has pretty good upload speed. Second of all, again, if I upload in really low quality, the file size is a lot smaller, and my voice will be a lot more pixelated, but who really cares? So we're looking at Gishki, which is a pretty big combo deck, but to be honest, due to the fact that it has cards like Gishki Aerial and Gishki Abyss, the combos are very easy to come by because they do have those floater monsters. The fact that they have Gishki Beast, which combines with these floater monsters to create more combo potential, is pretty awesome. So if he does get to summon the Gust Crake right now, he's salvaging for those two monsters and that he just sent to the graveyard for the for their effects. He does get them. I'd like to see him Vision Gishki for a Levianima or a Goose Crack before he uses it, but he decides not to. The reason being is that you can discard Vision Gishki to get Goose Crake, and then you discard Goose Crake for that card, Gishki Ceremonial Mirror, and then you have Goose Crake on the field, and you have another Goose Crake in the graveyard, and you have that other mirror in the graveyard. Very, very, very tricky. Capable of taking out that last card in Shadow Ball's hand in response to the Torrential and Effect Veiler. So he loses the Maxi. He probably could have sent it to the graveyard, but whatever he drew would have been lost as well. So we're looking at a really simplified game now. Back in game 2, this is taking a very, very, very long time, but whatever. Now, Mayor's in the grave. Goose Crake is in the hand. You can discard Shadow, Gishki Shadow to grab that card. Decides not to. I would have gone for it. Shadow Ball sets a monster. Wonder what it is. Fenrir rips. Gishki Abyss. What a rip. And I want to listen to some music, so might as well listen to it with headphones or out loud. I'll ask ETC chat. Alright. Solemn. Reborn Tengu being annoying. Not sure why he didn't solemn the Reborn Tengu. Because now you have a live Spore. And we have a Stardust or a Scrap Dragon, and that's game. If it is Scrap Dragon, that is game. We'll see if he still... No, it doesn't have Scrap Dragon. But Shadow agrees that it's game. We'll see if he gives up the GG. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Tengu. That is GG. And Fenrir leaves Shadow from ETC forums. Loses 0-2. Shadowball2007 wins GG.